Ancient hybrids, the Watchers' forbidden experiments and their modern-day mysteries. Hybrids according to the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch describes how the 200 Watchers, a group of fallen angels, descended to earth and engaged in forbidden activities with both humans and animals. Their actions led not only to the birth of the Nephilim, a race of giants, but also to the creation of other hybrid beings, combining human and animal traits. The text states that the Watchers chose animals on which to perform unnatural acts, mentioning 200 donkeys, 200 rams, 200 goats, 200 beasts from every animal, from every bird, from miscegenation. These experiments defied the natural order, giving rise to monstrous entities. Tasked with overseeing humanity, the Watchers instead violated their duties, unleashing chaos and corruption. The Book of Enoch portrays these hybrids as a result of divine rebellion, impacting ancient societies and altering their myths and beliefs. Miscegenation. The Book of Enoch makes references not only to giants, but also to various monstrous hybrids, suggesting that multiple different creatures were created during this period. Imagine this. The Watchers gathered animals to perform miscegenation. This means for hybrids to be born, some form of reproductive manipulation was carried out, involving the combination of human and animal DNA. These monstrous and twisted beings have been recorded many times in human history, but are often dismissed as mere mythology. Though, what if these hybrids weren't just the stuff of legends? The Bible mentions that during the days of Noah, non-human hybrid creatures known as the Nephilim were terrorizing humanity. This raises the question, could these ancient stories be rooted in real events? Let's explore some of the most famous half-human, half-animal hybrids documented throughout history, and reconsider whether they might represent more than just legends. Hybrids in mythology. Centaur. One intriguing example is the centaur, the half-man, half-horse creature from Greek mythology. The legend of their creation is tied to a human named Ixion and a divine entity called Nephilim. According to the myth, Nephilim was a cloud shaped into the likeness of Hera, crafted in a plot to reveal Ixion's forbidden desires for the goddess. When Ixion was deceived and seduced Nephilim, this union gave birth to the centaurs. But could there be more to this tale? The similarities between this story and the accounts of the Watchers from the Book of Enoch are striking. In the ancient text, fallen angels engaged in unnatural acts with humans and animals, creating hybrid beings through a process referred to as miscegenation, which involved reproduction through intimate relations. This connection raises intriguing questions. Could the centaurs be more than just a product of Greek imagination, but rather a reflection of real attempts to merge human and animal DNA? It's not hard to imagine how ancient people, confronted with such bizarre hybrids, might turn their experiences into stories, creating the legends we now know as the centaurs. Siren. But the centaur is just the beginning. The ancient Greeks also spoke of the sirens, a creature depicted as half-woman, half-bird, and known for luring sailors to their doom with enchanting songs. Although modern interpretations often portray sirens as mermaids, the original Greek myths described them with bird-like characteristics. This raises an interesting possibility. Could the sirens have been the result of experiments similar to those involving centaurs? Some theories suggest that the fallen angels or celestial beings, with their advanced knowledge, may have used birds in their genetic manipulations. This idea finds support in the Book of Enoch, which mentions the fallen angels taking 200 of every bird for their experiments, potentially creating these human-bird hybrids. The eerie parallels between the sirens and descriptions of angelic figures conducting genetic manipulation on animals are hard to ignore. It suggests that the ancient tales of the sirens may not just be artistic symbolism, but rather hints at darker stories of supernatural tampering with the natural world. Egyptian gods. And then, there are the gods of ancient Egypt. Figures like Thoth, depicted with the head of an ibis and the body of a human, and Horus, with his falcon head, have intrigued and puzzled scholars for centuries. These depictions aren't merely symbolic. These deities were worshipped and revered as actual beings who walked among the people. But what if these gods were more than metaphors? Some researchers believe that these figures could have been real, living entities, hybrids resulting from genetic manipulation or interbreeding by advanced beings who were revered as divine. The detailed hieroglyphs show that nearly all of Egypt's gods displayed animal and human characteristics, suggesting that these depictions weren't just artistic choices, but records of real hybrid beings playing crucial roles in ancient societies. Could these creatures have been the offspring of fallen angels, created through acts of miscegenation, as described in the Book of Enoch? It's possible that these hybrids, endowed with advanced spiritual knowledge passed down by their celestial progenitors, were indistinguishable from divine beings, and were worshipped alongside the fallen angels themselves. Ancient texts suggest that fallen angels sought to be revered as gods, and after being cast down to earth, they and their offspring were indeed worshipped by early civilizations. This raises the question, were the Egyptian gods the very hybrids created through forbidden acts, revered as divine beings by ancient peoples? Hybrids remnants. Mothmen. What if the hybrids are still alive? Maybe that's why people are still seeing mysterious creatures like Mothman in West Virginia. More than just a folklore, the Mothman has led many to speculate about its origins. First reported between November 15, 1966, and December 15, 1967, the Mothman was allegedly seen in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Witnesses described it as a humanoid figure with large insect-like wings spanning nearly 10 feet and glowing red eyes, giving it the appearance of a half-human, half-moth entity. One of the earliest and most famous sightings involved two young couples who, in mid-November of 1966, fled the local woods claiming they had encountered a terrifying creature. They described the entity as mostly human in shape, but with enormous wings and eerie, luminous eyes. These unsettling characteristics of the Mothman, combined with its supposed appearances as a harbinger of disasters, hint that this could be a remnant of hybrid creatures. Cryptid creatures. Mysterious beings that are believed to exist but haven't been proven are often labeled as cryptids, and sightings of these cryptid creatures have been reported worldwide. What's particularly striking is that many of these cryptids share a common trait. They appear to be hybrid creatures, resembling half-human, half-animal entities. This similarity has led some researchers to draw comparisons between these modern cryptids and the hybrids. In ancient texts, such as Genesis 6:4, the Bible mentions the existence of hybrid beings both before and after the Great Flood. As we all know, the Great Flood was not only a means to cleanse the earth of human corruption, but also to eradicate hybrid beings, born from unnatural acts between fallen angels and humans or animals. The hybrids, referred to as abominations, were not part of God's intended creation, and the flood was meant to eliminate their corrupted presence as well. Some speculate that the so-called cryptids might be the remnants of ancient abominations that survived the flood. Although many of these beings were eradicated, sightings of cryptid creatures like the Mothman suggest that traces of these hybrids might still linger. Despite mainstream science often dismissing these cryptid creatures as folklore or misidentifications, the eerie parallels between them and ancient accounts of hybrid beings are hard to ignore. Demons are hybrids? Though most physical hybrids were destroyed after the Great Flood, it is believed that their souls survived, transforming into what we now refer to as demons. These disembodied spirits retained their malevolent nature, continuing to influence and terrorize humanity from the spiritual realm. Interestingly, many depictions of demons, such as the infamous Baphomet, show them as half-human, half-animal hybrids, often combining features of a bull and a human. This resemblance raises intriguing questions about the origins of these demonic forms, suggesting a darker connection to the ancient hybrids. This is the end of our video. What's your thought about our theory on hybrids? Feel free to share with us in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.